Yay Networks.
Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Brit Madrid-Mogensen, and I'm so excited about this episode. You guys, if you're a fan of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, just prepare yourself because we have a reading with Whitney Rose. We're going to do a full birth chart reading. She and her co-host Connie from the Wild Rose podcast are here, and we're just getting into it. We're going to get into all the astrology tea, and we're also going to make some predictions about season 4, which premieres on September 5th. So this is going to be such a fun episode. Buckle up and let's get into it. Oh my gosh. Well, I am so excited to get to chat with both of you guys. And, you know, I've been looking at your birth chart, Whitney, and I have my cards here. So we're all set up with the bag of tricks to do all the fun things today. So I can't wait to just get into it.
I love astrology. I've been into it my entire life. My very first tattoo is my Libra sign.
Yes.
Because I'm a Libra.
I love it.
Sign. Yeah.
Libra sun, yes.
Yep. So I've been into it. And it's for some reason, I didn't always believe it as to be the Bible, if you will. It wasn't this is my only truth. It's just, I love finding, I'm a seeker of information and I love being validated or directed when I need help. So I just love finding those little validations or those little things that resonate with me. Cause to me, it does help me practice opening up my third eye and validates that I am following my intuition or I'm not, or I'm closed off. I need to open back up, whatever. So I'm so excited to read my chart today. Should I be nervous?
No, you should not be nervous because whatever I tell you, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I already feel that. What you said about validating kind of your truths or if you're on the right path, 100%. I believe in that too. And I think that's what you're going to find. So if you guys want me to start the reading, we can do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to dive into it?
Let's dive in.
Don't be nervous, Whitney. You got this.
I'm kidding.
You have a great chart.
She's going to tell all your secrets now.
My soul to reality TV. This is nothing.
Oh my God. Right. So true. You're I've already put it all out there. We're good.
It's already all out. I don't know if you saw the trailer or not. Here we go again. Round 4. Yeah. Let's jump in. And if it's okay, can we ask questions if we have any?
Absolutely. Please do. Feel free to stop me and ask questions. I would love that. Okay. So why don't we start with your sun sign? Obviously Libra sun, you even have the tattoo. So you resonate with the sign of Libra, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And when we look at your chart, not only do you have your sun in Libra, but you have your Mercury in Libra too. And your Mercury and sun are very close together in the 3rd house. So when I talk about, do you guys know about houses and things like that?
Yeah.
You know what that means? Okay, cool. I just always check.
On the chart, right?
Yes, exactly. And each house is a different part of your life, right?
Right.
So for you, you have your sun and your Mercury in the 3rd house. And that means that a really big part of your life purpose is going to be about 3rd house themes, which include siblings, which I watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, so I know you're close to your siblings. So yes, very true. And then also it's about communication. So for you, communicating with people, sharing your truth, speaking to others, these are really important things for you. Social media, even any way that you can express yourself and your truth is really important because that 3rd house is about communicating with other people. And it's also about our neighborhood and our surroundings. So being in the community, those are the things that light you up, I'm sure, because you feel you're okay, I'm living my purpose. I'm being a Libra sun in the 3rd house in my community. I'm using my Mercury to think and share and communicate in this environment. So that's kind of in a nutshell, you if someone were to just meet you, that's kind of your purpose, on the surface in a way. And then we kind of get deeper into it. Does that resonate? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel just going to the speaking your truth, that is something that, just the way that I grew up, I always held back my truth, my voice. I was never heard, if you will. And so that's something as an adult that I've been I think I reiterate it too. Even if I know someone heard me, I'll be like, but do you understand?
Yes.
I really need to know, or that people know where I'm coming from. That has been kind of a life mission lately.
100%. And so because you said that, we'll skip to your Chiron placement, which, by the way, I have the same one. So girl, I get you. I hear you. I see you. Yes. I have that same placement, and you have your Chiron in Gemini.
Wait, what's a Chiron?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Is that another moon?
I don't know.
So Chiron is your wounded healer in your birth chart. Everybody has one somewhere. And the placement of your Chiron describes the wound that you're here to overcome in this lifetime.
Okay.
And when you overcome it, you can inspire other people, and you're able to like understand people on a different level. So it's like a big part of our purpose, but it can feel kind of rocky, especially when we don't realize that's what we're doing. It's like our hero's journey, right? It's where your obstacles are, but it's also where your triumphs are. So it's like a really important place to understand in your chart. And for you, Whitney, with your Chiron in Gemini, that's all about communication and being heard. So it's just like, it makes so much sense. And that happens in your 11th house of groups, which would also include things like reality TV shows. So if we look at your 11th house, this is in Gemini for you, and it contains your moon and Chiron. So that means you're kind of working out your ups and downs. You're like really showcasing your journey and helping other people to see how they could also overcome things, how they can also experience these things and not feel alone, because you're doing it in the 11th house, which is public. It's the public, it's groups, it's friend groups. So, and then having that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, that is so interesting, because a lot of the times I like take a step back and I'm like, why? Why am I publicly sharing my healing journey? Why am I like opening up this wound for everyone to see and criticize? But I always have to go back to what you just said. It's because I'm helping other people too. And that's really important to me.
So true. And I love that, like, you think that. I love that you've like had that conversation, you know, in your own mind, because when we look at your chart, we see that, you know, we all question ourselves at times, right? But if we look at your chart, we see confirmation. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what you're doing. And that's the part of the purpose. So you also have Chiron conjunct your moon in the 11th house. And the moon is your feelings, right? You have your moon in Gemini. So you have a lot of Gemini energy around communication, which makes so much sense. Why you want to feel heard, you want to be understood. And for you, having the moon conjunct Chiron, that can be really emotional. So while you go through this journey, it does cut all the way to the core.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So like there are a lot of ways to practice self-care to help with that we can see in your chart, which we'll talk about. But I would say, I mean, it's such a beautiful energy in a way, because as you experience this, like you really go all the way in. You really process your feelings. And for you, it's important that you do that. I mean, it is. And so also the moon rules women and female relationships. So that's a big deal too. So you probably experience a lot of your healing and a lot of your growth through friendships. Mm-hmm. Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. I would say Connie is like one of my biggest healers. You know, just being able to, because when we began our friendship, it was really funny. We really struggled with communication. We just did not understand each other at all.
Okay.
And we talked a lot. There was something we were missing, and we both felt that we just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we hung out almost every weekend, talked all the time, but just did not understand each other. And it was really the process of like diving into, why do we suck at communicating to each other, that we learned how to connect. And
we both have Gemini moons.
Yeah.
I don't know if that had something to do with it.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. That's huge. You guys speak the same language from the heart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From our hearts we did, but like communicating it in words, we were missing something for a little while there.
Yeah. And it was a profound moment I would say a healing moment for Connie when we really connected. We talk a lot about her brother who she lost to suicide, and we had a very spiritual experience with him. He like passed through us, and we both knew it. Like he was
like felt it right when we were, because it was right when we were talking about it. Yeah, it was just a symbol of him as a dragonfly. And I was sharing some story, and as we were sitting there talking, this dragonfly, no joke, just it went right through us. But we felt like more than just, I mean, you can't feel a dragonfly, but we felt something else.
It was like
it was really
a
cool.
rush, like when you go down a roller coaster and your heart starts beating fast, and you just felt this love and presence.
It was cool.
It was like, everything's letting us know he's there. And that moment, he like connected us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything changed after that.
That's so cool. Oh my God. I feel like that means you're part of the same like soul family.
Yeah. It feels like that. It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure.
And Connie, what's your sun sign?
My sun sign's Aquarius.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I'm married to a Virgo.
You're married to a Virgo. Oh my
sun.
gosh. Okay. Love it. Love it. And then do you know your rising sign?
And
by chance?
my rising's Virgo.
Okay. So Virgo rising. Okay. Love it. Love it. So you and I are kind of opposite because I have Aquarius rising, Virgo sun.
Oh, no way.
So, okay, Connie, we see each other. But basically what's really cool about this, another thing I love about y'all's friendship. So Whitney, you have Leo rising. And what's kind of funny about astrology is that people think that like opposite signs like don't get along or whatever. That's not true. I mean, very rare cases. Typically, your opposite will bring to you like gifts, things that you need, help to balance you. And Leo and Aquarius are natural partners. So the fact that Connie, your sun is in Aquarius, and then Whitney, your rising is Leo, that's another attraction point that shows that you guys balance each other out. And there's like a magnetic like pull to like do stuff together, work together, create things. And then the same Gemini moon, that means that like this is a safe place for you guys to be able to be your true authentic selves because your moon sign just says that you need the same things to feel loved and nurtured. So it's kind of like natural. Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to hear it explained like on that level.
I would love to do y'all's like synastry charts. Yes. Where you like lay one chart over another and you can see all of like the growth points and then all of like the natural like boosting points where you help each other like on the path. It's really fun to see.
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah,
that would be really
so cool.
Oh, ladies, we got it all. We'll get into it. I love this stuff. It's so fun. And so, okay. So we were talking about Chiron, and that's like where you heal. And then Whitney, if there's anything, or Connie, if there's anything that you guys want to ask questions about, like if you want to say, what's my career look like or whatever, let me know and we'll jump to that. But okay. So that is an important point. Another important important point is your North Node. Okay. And this is huge right now because people with an Aries North Node are having their nodal return. And that is happening in Aries from July 18th, 2023 to January 11th, 2025. So anyone listening, anyone watching, if you have an Aries North Node, listen up because this is your time.
Where do you find that on the chart? I'm curious because I don't know
how
the
would
chart
someone
as well.
find that?
Yeah.
So you would just basically, I like to use astrocharts.com. It's a free astrology birth chart like generator, and it's really accurate. Just put in everything you need your birth time, like from your birth certificate. And if you put that in, it will pull everything up, including your rising sign, your midheaven, North Node, Chiron, all that stuff. Awesome. So yeah, so anyone listening, if you want to pull that up, you can. And just know that this happens, it just keeps rotating throughout the zodiac. So everybody kind of has their North Node time. And if you're an Aries North Node, this is your time. And basically what that means is that the universe is going to be pushing you towards your highest goals right now, towards your growth right now. So things that you're kind of afraid to do, but things that really feel right. It's like your soul's journey. So you're going to be finding that over, the next few months, over the next year or so, that like opportunities are going to start just like coming in that you're like, oh, wow, that feels scary, but I really want to do that. So you want to trust that and you want to push yourself to like continue to live in Aries energy. And for you as a Libra sun, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I totally interrupted you, but I was just saying now
Please
I'm
do.
so curious what my North Node is because
I know, Connie, we need to look it up.
I know.
Yeah.
We've got to.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, please do. I welcome it. So Whitney, for you have your North Node in Aries in the 9th house. And the ninth house is all about expansion, like in the mind, it's philosophy, it's religion. So, okay. Anyone who watches Real Housewives knows about your journey, knows that you left the church, all these things. Well, when we look at your chart, we see that being independent around religion and like your own philosophy is part of your path.
Yeah,
I love it.
Makes perfect
It's amazing.
sense. Yeah.
So you're going to be doing more probably of these types of things. Like we're having this conversation. I think that, from now until January 11th, 2025, you're going to have some sort of like breakthrough on your path. I know you just launched your jewelry line that has a spiritual, side to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is really good and you're going to keep doing more of that in a bigger way.
Well,
so it'll be fun to see that.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, again, validation, because it has been, I feel the nudge, I feel the pull.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to ask you, what does that mean professionally? Because I feel a lot of it around career as well. Because I have two brands. I have Wild Rose Beauty and I have Prism. And for anyone who has started a business knows that it is hella hard.
Yes.
Like it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I've done some hard shit. Even it's right there with personal growth, right? It's like the two go hand in hand. And I just keep, some days I look at Connie and I'm just like, Connie, what am I doing? Like, I want to go back to being a housewife. Like legit. Right. I just want to stay home with my kids. This is too hard. But I can't stop. When I start thinking that, it's like some massive thing will like snap me out of it and be like, no, this is your path. You have to keep going. So does that resonate with my chart? Am I going to see this success in dollar signs?
in dollar signs, yes. And we can do a little like tarot pull about that to see kind of like what the journey is going to be like for those things. I like to do like a past, present, future tarot reading to like just see what comes through. But I will say that for you, your south node, so when your north node is Aries, your south node is always going to be the opposite zodiac sign. So your south node is in Libra and it's in the third house because the third house and the ninth house, they're opposites. So the third house is where you do like, remember how I was describing your third house and talking about like siblings and like being in your community and stuff like that. Okay. That's a part of your purpose and a part of your path. It's what you do naturally. A lot of astrologers think that the south node is like your past lives, like so like what you're good at basically just comes natural. So it's good. It's a positive thing. But within this time period especially, you're actually going to be encouraged to not spend so much time doing those things that you're naturally going to want to do, like just like hang out at the house or want to stick to your neighborhood. Because the ninth house, Aries, is about expansion. It's about independence, being a trailblazer, following the ideas. Ninth house is like ideas and philosophies that speak to you. So for you, if you love obviously Prism and Wild Rose Beauty. So for you, it's about like believing in yourself and blazing that trail, taking the actions to get out of your environment, out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's promoting it overseas. The ninth house rules overseas dealings. Maybe it's doing more travel, going on a tour, anything that gets you out of your day-to-day schedule and puts you in an independent place that feels a little scary is going to boost your business because that's where you're going to expand. Yeah. And find success. And it'll feel really rewarding. But yeah, for sure. It's scary. The south node is scary. Like wanting to stick to what you're, know.
It's so funny that this is coming up because I literally have a trip to LA and New York for both brands for like some big PR pushes, like meeting with editors, beauty editors, things like that. Yeah.
Perfect timing. Yeah. When is that happening? In like the next couple months?
Oh, the first trip is September 9th, and then the second one is the 14th to the 17th of September. So
amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm actually going to be there too. So maybe we'll say hi.
Yes.
But yeah, my brother's coming in town. So he's going to LA. But basically that is just coinciding perfectly with what's going on right now. Also, you have Jupiter in Taurus. Well, like at this moment, Jupiter's transiting Taurus. your 10th house is ruled by Taurus. So the 10th house is career. So you're having big Jupiter energy of expansion in your career house. So if you're going to LA, if you're doing these things, the timing is right to make it count and for it to really do something good for you and for your business. So I would say just like, this is your time to go all out. Like that's like the mantra. I'd be like, let's get it.
Okay, let's get it.
You're in that place.
I'm gonna make a neon sign. I'm gonna put it right here. Let's get it.
That's your mantra every morning in LA. Let's get it. All right, let's go.
Get it.
And you'll find that it's going to be really invigorating. It might feel a little weird at first, but this is the right time. So just trust that the universe has your back, and that's why it's happening. But for you, for your 10th house in Taurus, if you want to talk about career, Taurus rules like luxury, beauty, which those are things that you have, in your business. And so you just have to know that building things in a Taurus way, like Taurus is an earth sign. So it's kind of like slow and steady wins the race. And with a Gemini moon, especially, sometimes that can be hard because you're like, wait, I really want to see it now.
Yeah.
Because Gemini is fast. Your emotions are connected to your business, right? Your business is like your baby. Yeah. And so for you, it probably feels sometimes like it's not happening quick enough, but you have to know that with your 10th house ruled by Taurus, Taurus is about luxury, wealth, beauty. So it will happen, but it's almost like the universe, I feel like wants you to have faith in yourself. So you're like standing kind of on this ledge with that Aries North node of being independent. And like, you're going to have to stand there for a little bit because it's like, that's how you get that, like you win that medal, like if you don't have the opportunity to face your fear, you're never going to feel that satisfaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. There's like a quote, a popular quote, like success is on the other side of fear or whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. So that's kind of where you're at right now, I feel like, with the current like transits. But just know that with a Taurus ruled 10th house, we should all be so lucky. I mean, that's a great placement. So you're meant to be successful in business. And that's financial. The money, like you were saying. Yeah.
Where's the money, honey? Yeah. I need dollar signs.
Cash. Yeah, exactly. Well, that is the dollar signs. So that's going to be good. And then we have, let's see. Do you want to talk about, what else would you like to know about? So we got the whole chart.
Is there anything you want to know about as my friend? It's your time. It's your time to dive in.
Your time to shine.
No, it's her time to anything that she's like struggled with or wants to know or understand. This is her time. I can't get mad.
Well, I just you can't get mad.
I love it.
I thought the communication thing was so interesting. I remember when I used to give you a hard time about texting. Mm-hmm. She would never use emojis, and I'm like, is she serious? Is she like, or is she joking right now? I don't know.
I would be in a group message or just texting Connie, and she'd call me and be like, are you okay? Like, what made you mad? And I'm like, I'm fine. Everything's great.
But I think everyone kind of has that problem with texting.
I'm just direct, and I learned I have to use emojis so people know my tone.
Yeah, she got much better after that.
Because I just am short, quick texter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, I know right now a lot in the chart validates this. Like a lot of my concerns right now are really around career and independence. But I've just had some really interesting personal things going on internally, like just really speaking to believing in myself.
Yeah. And
like trusting that it's going to work out. Like I'm not, like it's going to happen. Like what you were saying is I have a lot of the time like that limited belief of like, I doubt myself.
And that's understandable, especially when you're doing something new, and you're doing something that feels unfamiliar. I would say that this, looking at your chart, other areas where we can find like really good, positive, like motivational things would be, your 8th house, which is ruled by Pisces. And the 8th house is the house of transformation. And you have Jupiter in Pisces, which is where Jupiter's happy. That's expansion. Again, this is just like your natal placements when you were born. So having Jupiter in the house of transformation in Pisces, where it's happy, means that you are someone who is going to experience a lot of transformation in your life. And transformation feels scary, right? Because as human beings, we all love to feel safe and secure, and we just, and change sometimes just feels a little too much. So for you right now, especially with your North Node return happening, that totally makes sense that you're feeling like, oh my gosh, are things going to work out? I just want to know, and it's probably hard sometimes to feel motivated because you don't know that what you're doing is going to work. But I will say that it is going to work, especially when you feel scared. I know it's crazy, but it's almost like that's the sign that you're going in the right direction. And so having your 8th house ruled by Pisces, I would just say part of the path is to embrace feeling like things are changing. Embrace feeling like your mindset's changing, your emotions are changing. Maybe what you do on a day-to-day basis is changing, because you are meant to have a lot of transformation in your life. And Jupiter in the 8th house tells us that.
Yeah.
So,
I can confirm this. As her friend, knowing you for 6.5 years or something now, she has gone through so many different changes and transformations. And I mean, I've been a firsthand witness to all of this, and she handles it with grace. It's a lot though. It's a lot. How many times do I tell you, I'm like, Whitney, I don't know how you do all this. I get worn out just trying to keep up with what's going on in her life. And it's a lot. And she handles it really well. Even though I know it probably doesn't feel like you do all the time.
Well, it sounds like, thank you. I appreciate that. But it sounds like that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yep.
But yeah.
Right? So your 4th house is ruled by Scorpio. I thought this was really interesting because of your journey that you've opened up about. Scorpio is a house of transformation as well. So your 4th house of Scorpio contains Venus and Pluto. Pluto is at home in Scorpio, and it's also about transformation. So your transformation themes, there's a lot of it, Whitney. You're transforming all over all the time, which is cool because this is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's someone who is able to take things that are difficult and transmute them and turn them into something beautiful. And so that's a really big strength. But you'll find that you probably experience a lot of that, which you've already talked about, in the area of home and family. Mm-hmm. Now, Venus, also a little fun thing about that is that typically you will have a lot of you'll be someone that always has a beautiful home, whether it kind of works out that way or you decorate. You have with Venus in the 4th house, you thrive in a beautiful environment, and you're also going to be blessed with a beautiful home. So we just like to see that. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then
I love beautiful things.
Yes. And it's important for you, for your psyche. It's almost like that's part of what keeps you balanced. When you're going through difficult things, because with Venus and Pluto right next to each other like that, as you transform, it's almost like being in a really pretty environment can give you comfort, and it helps you to get through it, which might sound silly, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, interesting.
So do you think that's why Whitney rearranges her house a lot? Because she does.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, maybe. You're okay, we need fresh energy. We're transforming.
Yeah.
Let's move this. Yeah. Actually, yes.
Yeah. There's not a single wall in my house that's not wallpapered or bricked or shiplapped. Everything, I have to have it. And it'll all change all the time. This is the longest I've been in a home, by the way.
What,
really?
4 years, did you say? 4 years.
4 years? Okay. All right. Well, you never know. Could be transforming again. No, but I love your set. Yeah, it's so cute. Okay. Love it. So Venus, 4th house.
It's very wild.
It's very wild, Rose. Yes. And then the 5th house. So your 5th house is ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about adventure. Sagittarius is associated with the 9th house. So we kind of talked about your Aries ruled 9th house, but this also rules your 5th house, which is romance, love, having fun, creativity, children, anything that just brings pure joy into your life really falls under that 5th house. So with that being ruled by Sagittarius for you, you're someone who really does love, an expansive energy. It's important for you to keep having new things. It's important for you to learn new things, to go on trips. if you're ever feeling in a rut, all you kind of need to do is hop on a flight and you'll feel renewed because it fires up your 5th house of joy. So that's a great thing. And you also have Saturn and Uranus in that house. Now, this is really interesting because they're kind of polar opposites. So Saturn is stability, and it's like being like disciplined. It's like the coach in your chart, that's like, do this, do that. And then Uranus is like surprises. So you have those right next to each other in your house of like romance. Another thing about that is that you'll be attracted to people who are older, typically Saturn. It's like rules people who are like older. Saturn is like, it's almost like a dad energy, not a real dad, but like a
it
fatherly.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what, like, you love that. Like, you think that's fun. That stimulates you intellectually. You're attracted to that. Like, so that's really good for you. And then having Uranus in the 5th house also means that you'll probably shock and surprise people with either your creativity or your choice of, romantic partner. So just know you are kind of meant to be that person that surprises people. So it's like
you definitely surprise people in those ways all the time.
And that's good. You shake it up, and that's part of like what you're here to do.
And I think I surprise my partner every
that's
day
good
too,
Keeps it spicy. Absolutely.
That actually makes so much sense because I do have such conflicting battles with like the stability, the wildness, the safe, the not safe, like, you know what I mean? Like adventurous, like it's interesting because I drive myself crazy with my internal conversations around all that.
Well, and that's kind of part of, I would say that's kind of part of your journey, like what you're here to experience and like learn to navigate. And sometimes it's going to be messy, but like that's kind of Sagittarius. Like when I think of Sagittarius, which is the rule of your 5th house, I think of like a really jolly, like Santa Claus who's, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, they're like giving gifts. Like they're always just like going places. And then having Saturn there, it is kind of like a paradox. It doesn't really make sense on paper, but you have a blend of that. So I would say that's kind of part of the fun of it for you. I guess you get to figure out how to like ride the fence between being straight-laced and being a little bit zany,
Yeah. I keep myself entertained. That's for sure.
There you go. Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
We love that. Sure. And then your 6th house, this has to do with like how we achieve our goals because the 6th house rules our day-to-day. So it's like how you work towards your goals. And your 6th house is ruled by Capricorn. Now, that's amazing. Love to see it. If I ever see someone with like a 6th or a 10th house Capricorn, I'm like, whoo, that's so good for you. Because Capricorn is the like money maker of the zodiac. It is like the business savvy. Yes, exactly. Yeah, do your happy dance. You should. Because it's like, this is a part of your chart that brings ease, which is cool. So for you, usually on like a day-to-day basis, you're probably someone, you also have Mars and Neptune here in the 6th house. So having Mars and Capricorn in the 6th house probably means that you have a lot of drive on a day-to-day basis. Like you get up and you start going. Does that sound like you?
Yeah.
Mars 6, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes at 3 a.m. she gets up and gets going.
Yeah,
really?
I got going at 3 a.m. today.
Yeah, really? Okay, amazing. Good for you. Oh my God, teach us your ways.
I'd rather sleep, but my brain just turns on and I can't stop.
You're like, time to go. Well, and so you have Mars and Neptune together in that 6th house. So Mars is like energy, a warrior spirit. It's just raw, natural fuel to burn. And like, it's like working out, getting going. And then Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So Neptune's about creativity and dreaminess. And so when you have those two together, that's a really good sign that you're going to be really skilled at bringing super creative things to life through hard work because of that Capricorn. And Capricorn does rule hard work and money and rewards. So having a 6th house Capricorn and a 10th house Taurus, there's really no way that you couldn't be successful. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now.
Yes, I love to hear it.
Yeah. It's part of your purpose. Like you're meant to be successful and to build a strong business. because 2 earth signs, solid.
And I think that
we all do that. But.
Yeah, the internal battles are so hard because
they are.
If I take a step back and look at everything I've achieved so far, I am successful. I'm very successful. Mm-hmm. But it's Absolutely. Like I want it at such a massive level and I feel connected to it, but I just don't always know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. And that's where the battle comes in, right? And it's like I got to focus on the positive. That's my theme. It's let's get it. Focus on the positive.
Focus on the positive.
Yeah, I love it. That's really helped me. It's just looking at the positive things every day. Like it's really helped me the last couple weeks because it's been a struggle.
Good. I'm sorry it's been a struggle. But I'm glad that you have those 2 things that you're like really bringing into the forefront of your mind because, having earth signs in those 2 parts of your chart. Now, because they are associated with stability and success, if we think about it, anything that is long lasting, it's not going to be quick and easy, right? It's not the shortcut. We've seen people even on the show take the shortcut and it's not always great. So just saying, it's good.
Consequences.
Sorry, what?
I said there are consequences.
Exactly. There are. And so kind of what you have in your chart is almost this reminder that it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And it's going to be whatever you want it to be. So if you say, I'm going to make this the most successful company, it's going to be the next, whatever, Skims or whatever it is in your mind that you're envisioning, then it will be that. But it may take 5 years. So it may be 5 years of you having your head down, being a Capricorn day to day, which is just prioritizing your routine. It's like every day I'm going to get up and I'm going to work. I'm going to work for it. And the 10th house shows kind of the outcome, what that will be after the hard work. And that's Taurus energy of abundance and luxury, beauty. So, it's going to happen. I hope that gives you that peace because it's going to happen.
Well, I so appreciate you doing all of this for me. I needed to hear it. This is amazing.
I'm
Especially
so glad.
As we head into, Connie knows better than anyone. But people, I don't think they realize how hard it is when we ramp up for the season to air.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
To air, because what's hard is people forget that we're real humans with emotions, with feelings, with trials, with successes. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a business owner, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. Yeah. I'm a real person. And it is this massive wave right before the season airs. And when it's airing is some of the hardest time. It's not while we're filming. They're different hard. Very different hard. It is so hard when this show is going because you have the public. I have millions of people weighing in, sending me nasty messages or sending me positive messages, however you want to look at it, right? So this is a great timing for this reading because I will keep my head down and I will keep going. Good. And I'll keep sharing my real life, even if people, want to judge it or get high off of the drama, right? I'm going to keep my head down because this is validating to know that this is part of my purpose, and this is why I became a housewife, is I wanted to build successful brands with longevity.
Yes.
I want a legacy brand, And
that's beautiful that it's beautiful that you said it that way. It's beautiful that you're sharing that, and with your Chiron ruled 11th house with the moon also in the 11th house, you are someone based on, that and what you just shared. Yeah, you are someone who feels a lot. And so when people 11th house send you messages, the public, the group, I'm sure that's super stressful because your heart is almost on your sleeve in those moments. So I feel like even that's beautiful because it just reminds all of us we're all human. And sometimes it's your haters. I feel like that they're the most inspired by you or they need it the most. Do you know what I mean? It's they're avoiding it the most.
Yeah, that's so true. And I used to always say thank my haters. I'm thank you for the fuel, for me to keep going.
I like that.
But I've been shifting that saying in my head too. And I've been trying to teach my daughter this. It's you're welcome. because you took the time to think about it, worry about it, seek it out. So you're welcome.
I love that.
I hope you got what you needed.
I love that. And they're spending the energy on you, you know?
Yeah. And so I tell my daughter that all the time. I'm like, anytime you feel a certain way, you know, if someone says something mean to you or you just get a weird look, just like smile and be like, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yep. I love that.
And I always tell her, we don't have time to hear what the haters, we don't have time to hear why the haters love us today.
I love that.
Oh my God. I love it. Okay. I'm going to take that little phrase. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. We don't have time.
Haters love us today.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I love it. All right. So whatever you guys want to know.
We have to know what the season 4 predictions are.
Okay. So let's do like the overall energy of this season, because I think that we all kind of have a really good picture in our minds of the energy of season 3. It was drama. It was the Jen Shah thing. It was the conflict with you and Heather. Like, I feel like it was conflict heavy. So let's see what the cards have to say about the energy of season 4. Will it be healing? Will it be more drama? Will it be business? Let's see.
Is anyone going to get along this season?
Right? I hope so. We'll see.
It's funny because I'm like, should I answer this?
Let's let the cards answer it.
You could just, Whitney can't say yet. So she's just going to make little faces. Okay. So Page of Pentacles is the first card that we have. And this is all about new beginnings in the area of finances. So I will say, this season, I think it's going to talk a lot about people's businesses. I think that's how it's going to start off. They're going to be focusing on people growing their businesses, starting fresh. We know that Heather has actually everyone has a business, don't they? Yeah, everyone. Okay. So I think it's going to start off with business focus. Okay. And Whitney can't say, but yeah, she'll confirm later. after it premieres.
Accurate. The new beginnings is definitely a theme too.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's new beginnings. Pages are always something new. Okay, let's get another one. Oh my God. Okay, another new beginning, another page. This is Page of Cups. This is emotional new beginnings. So I'm going to say not only new beginnings with the new people on the show, but also fresh starts with the existing cast members, which I think it's going to be very welcome. So I hope that actually happens. That would be nice to see. Mm-hmm. Poor Whitney. She's like,
accurate. It's accurate.
Okay, and then let's get another one. If you want to know about anyone like specifically, also you can ask, and I'll pull.
Ooh, who should we ask about?
3 of Wands, something new for the future. Wands are passion and things like moving quickly. So I think that this means that either there will be like a new endeavor that the housewives work together on. 3 of Wands. Or something new that is like that y'all are planning for the future. This is like planning something new that connects to people's passions. Could be even a new business. It could be like a new adventure, a new trip. But this is like basically, it'll be something big that people recognize as like, ooh, this is like a new beginning that they're looking into the future with.
Could it also be like a new way of doing things?
Yes. Anything future focused, future oriented is 3 of Wands. But and this also means you're doing it with other people because it's a 3. So it's like, yeah.
I can't say what is popping into my brain, but that is accurate and I hope it happens.
God, I love it. Okay.
It's just a preliminary conversation that has happened, but
because you don't know until you see the edit.
Yeah,
you know, there's so many things they cut out.
This is actually like bigger picture too.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, it's happening. I would say it's happening because it came through. I mean, that's what the tarot tea would be. And then, okay, I know we have to go. Is there anybody in particular that you guys want to ask about? Connie, I know that you don't know what's going on at all, so maybe from you would be good.
Oh, I really don't. I always am curious about the new girl, like when there's a new cast member on how does she fit into this group? Do people like her? Like, is she going to be too much? Is she, I don't know.
That's such a good question. Okay, let's pull a card for her. 5 of Swords. Okay.
5 of Swords.
Well, this is going to be very spicy. I would say this is where a lot of the drama will come from.
Okay.
5 of Swords is betrayal. So it's either going to be, I know. I love the synchronized. Okay. So either she's going to betray someone else or someone's going to betray her, but it'll be very obvious that there's foul play.
Okay.
5 of Swords is really like an obvious negative thing happening.
Ooh.
Connected to the new person. So
gotcha.
So everyone tune in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The premiere is September 5th.
It is
September 5th. It is a phenomenal season. I will say that.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
I mean,
I can't wait to watch. What?
I mean, from what I lived through, it is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And
I love it.
It's
There's
so
a lot of new stuff.
unexpected too. And they say that like every year in press and media, we're always like, oh, it's unexpected. It's explosive. But no, it is not the typical Jen Shah explosive. This is just different. And it is unexpected.
I like that.
I didn't even see it coming. So
Real.
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. If you weren't already excited to watch, now it's like everyone's setting their DVR. I can't wait to watch. I got really invested as well.
We should do like a catch up after a few episodes. And I'd love to hear your feedback and do another reading.
Would love it.
When I can say more.
Gosh. I'm down. Yes. When we can say more.
Give you some more insights. Yeah.
That would be so great. Love it. And it was so nice meeting both of you guys. Thank you so much for just like being open to having this convo for the readings. And Connie, if you ever want a reading, I'm down to read your chart as well. Would love to do your synastry, all that good stuff. So this was really fun.
That. Yeah, we would love to have you back and read Connie's and then do our synastry together.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Synastry?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You said it right?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'd
love to take you up on that. I'm speaking for Connie now. I'm her handler. We would love that.
I now speak for yes. Perfect.
Okay, well, it was so nice meeting you. Thank you for taking the time. I really enjoyed that. I hope everyone else did too. That was amazing.
It was.
And September 5th, set your DVR.
Woo, it's going to get spicy.
Yep, 5 of Swords, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to ever forget that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to talk to the ladies more after the show premieres. Let's all keep up with it so that we can chit chat about it. But you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all the places. So subscribe and I will see you guys next week for another all new episode.
Yay Networks.